Hello my darlings, welcome to my channel. I am very excited today to show you how to crochet this striped ribbing sweater. Finally, after such a long time that I have been trying to perfect this stitch and the sizing, finally I have achieved the result that I was looking for a long time. Ribbing is one of my most beloved stitches. First of all, because it gives a certain texture to the garment. Second, because it gives elasticity, which will make the garment fit the body better. Another thing that I liked a lot about today's project is the stripes. Stripes, as you know, they are classy and timeless in fashion, and there is no difference to crochet. So knowing my love for the ribbing stitch and my love for stripes, I tried to combine them together, and finally I ended up with this striped ribbing sweater, which we are going to see the step-by-step tutorial in today's video. And guess what? This pattern comes also with a written pattern. So for all of you who are not a very big fan of video tutorials, but you love a well-written pattern, you can just head over to my website. I have already released there the written pattern of this crochet project, of this striped ribbing sweater, so you can follow along this video with a written pattern. So grab your hooks, grab your yarn, and let's start together this fun project. First of all, I do want to remind you to give this video a like and also share it with your friends. And if you are new over here, I hope you are going to consider to subscribe. And now let's crochet this stylish sweater. For this project I am going to use yarn from Paint Box Yarns, which is simply Aran, and the measurements are for 100 grams 184 meters. If you don't have this brand in your country, maybe you can find one of that is very popular in your country, and then just try to figure out the measurements, like the length. Try to find a yarn that is similar length, like 100 grams 184. You can maybe even 100 grams 160 meters long, you know, something like that. Type of yarn that will fit the same length. Try to find a yarn that is similar weight and length to this one. Next, what I am going to introduce you is the hook, which is a 8mm hook. Okay, so first I am going to start with the construction of this pattern. So this pattern is made of 4 panels, front panel, back panel, and 2 panels, the same pattern for the sleeves, which makes this pattern very easy to assemble. First I'm going to start with the front panel, crocheting the front panel. So this pattern is worked not from bottom up or top down. This is worked from one shoulder to another. So what we are going to actually start this pattern is the length of the sweater. What I am crocheting here is a size S, so if you are choosing to crochet another size, please follow the written pattern on my website. So for the size S, I will start with 82 chain stitches. Okay, so once I am done with 82 chain stitches, now I will start to crochet the first row, which is the front part. And because it's the front part, we will keep both yarns in the back. If you need to understand first the stitch, you first have to check the tutorial that I did about the striped ribbing stitch, and then you can follow this tutorial step by step, because I am not going to concentrate on how to crochet the striped ribbing stitch on this tutorial. The pattern continues like this. I am going to skip the first stitch from the hook, and then I will continue I will insert the hook in the second stitch from the hook, and I am going to crochet 1 slip stitch. That's what I'm gonna do in the second chain stitch again. 2 slip stitches. I will continue to crochet 7 slip stitches in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the pattern starts with 7 slip stitches. Next, I am going to start with a closed half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook in the next chain stitch, pull through, and then again pull through the 2 loops. Then I will continue again on the next stitch. So this is the second closed half double crochet, and now is the third closed half double crochet, and here this is the last stitch with this color, so I need to change color. So I will yarn over because the next stitch coming is white. So I will yarn over, I will insert the hook in the next chain stitch, but I will leave the blue yarn and I will pick the white yarn. I will leave a tail, long tail, and then from the back I will pull through, and then again keep the yarns with the finger. The finger will help you in the back to keep the yarns fixed, as you can see here. So then the white loop, you will pull it through the other 2 loops. So like this, we have finished 3 closed half double crochets, and in the same time we have changed to the white color. Now the pattern calls for 4 closed half double crochet. So in the next 4 stitches we will crochet 4 closed half double crochets with a white color. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is the last one. Because it's the last stitch with this color, I will insert the hook, I will leave the white color, I will pick the blue always from the back of your work, and then, so here is the front that I'm working, here is the back, and in the back I leave all the yarns. The white yarn is here, the blue yarn is here, always in the back. So be careful to not pull too tight or leave too loose the yarn in the back. Okay, so I will yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 2 white loops. And then if you see here, I have actually pulled it too tight, so I will give it some space to the yarn in the back. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so here I have this is the tail. Here I have the white yarn, and here I have the blue yarn, all in the back. Now the pattern calls for 13 blue half double crochet, closed half double crochet stitches. So now I will continue to crochet 13 closed half double crochet stitches. So I have crocheted 12. And now this is the last stitch with blue, so I will change color to white, yarn over with the blue, insert the hook, leave the blue yarn and pick the white yarn always from the back. Of course, you have to leave the white yarn in the back like this, and all is on the back side. You have to give it space to the white yarn. So yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the 2 loops. Now if you see in the front, we have already a big loop over here, so that's why we go in the back and then we give more yarn to the, let me pull the blue one, and we give a little bit more space to the white yarn. Not this is too much, but like this. So this is how it looks in the back. Then again I will pick it up, and now I will continue crocheting 4 white closed half double crochet stitches, because this is how the pattern continues. And again at the fourth one, which is the last stitch with the white yarn over, insert the hook, leave the white yarn in the back, take the blue yarn, pull through and pull through the 2 loops. Again, make sure that in the back the yarn is not too tight and it has space. Okay, so now I have already changed to the blue yarn. For the front panel, the pattern is going to be like this: 7 slip stitches, 3 closed half double crochet stitches with the blue, and then we started to have 4 white, 13 blue. Now we did 4 white, we will do another 14 blue. So I'm going to repeat the pattern 4 white, 13 blue 4 times. I will have 4 white stripes. So I have already crocheted once, I have started the white, and now I'm continuing with 13 blue stitches. Okay, so I did 13 blue stitches, now for 12 blue stitches, now the 13, of course I will change, I will leave the blue and I will pick the white always from the back and pull through. Now I will continue to crochet another 4 white closed half double crochet, which is my third one. And the fourth one, I will insert the hook and I will leave the white and I will pick the blue yarn and pull it through the 2 loops. So now I finished 4 white stitches and changed to the blue. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, and the pattern continues, calls for another 13 blue stitches. Okay, now I have 12 and I will do the last blue stitch. So insert the hook, I will leave the blue, I will pick the white, make sure to pick it from the back, pull through and pull through this last 2. Okay, so now the pattern calls for another 4 white stitches here. One, 2, 3, and the last one, insert the hook, leave the white and pick the blue. So now I have 4 white stripes. In between the 4 white stripes I have 13 blue stitches. And now here I am left with 16 stitches. So I will continue to crochet 16 closed half double crochet stitches until the end. Okay, you guys, so I did the last 16 stitches. So let me repeat one more time the pattern for you. So 7 slip stitches, 3 blue closed half double crochet stitches, then 4 white stitches, 13 blue stitches, and then you repeat 2 more times. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 white stripes, and at the end you have 16 blue closed half double crochet stitches. So this is the pattern, but it's good if you follow the pattern also on my website, the written pattern. This is the front part. When you start the first row, the first 2, 3, 4 rows, you will think that it's too long for you, but on the way that you work, the work will tighten up. So do not worry. Once you do the 4th, the 5th row, then you will see that your length here is going to shorten a little bit. So do not worry about that. Okay, so one chain, and now we are going to work on the other side. Turn your work like this, and on this side we are working in the back. The back side is facing us, so also the yarns are going to face us. Always we will leave the yarns in the front. So I did one chain, I turned, now I will yarn over, I will skip the one chain and I will insert the hook in the back loop of the second stitch from the chain, and then I will do a closed half double crochet. And I will continue to do on the back loop. Now I work only on back loop. A closed half double crochet. I will continue to do 16 of them. I did 15, and at the last one I will yarn over, insert the hook in the back loop. I will leave the blue yarn from under the head of the hook. If you see here, the hook under the head and in the front. Bring your blue yarn nearly like this, in the front, and pick the white yarn. The blue yarn you can carry with these two fingers, they will help you. Keep it in the front. And then pick the white yarn. Okay, so once I picked up the white yarn, then I will yarn over like this and pull through the back loop. And now I will pull through also through the other two loops. So the blue yarn is in front of you, you keep that in front of you. And now I will continue crocheting with the white yarn. Insert the hook and just continue in the back loop. Crochet 4 closed half double crochet stitches. So when we arrive at the fourth one, yarn over again, insert the hook in the back loop, leave the yarn under the head of the hook and pull it in front of you. Leave the white and pick the blue like this. And the white yarn, if you want, you can pick it up with your two fingers over here, and here yarn over again, pull through the back loop and pull through the other two loops, and leave enough space that is not too loose and not too tight. And now you can continue crocheting the rest of the blue stitches in the back loop with a closed half double crochet. So this is what I am going to do in the back for this pattern. So I finished 16 closed half double crochet stitches, and then I changed, as I showed you, 4 white stitches, and then I will continue crocheting the same pattern. 13 here, and then change to the white color, and then change to the blue, and then change again. Where we have white, we will change to white. But remember, always at the last stitch of that color, you have to change the color at the last pull. So that's how you're gonna change colors the last stitch. And then I will continue to crochet and change colors until I arrive over here, and then I will show you the pattern for the last part, which is this is the bottom part of the sweater. Okay, you guys, I kind of finished nearly the full pattern here at the back. So 16 blue, 4 white, 13 blue, 4 white, 13 blue, 4 white, 13 blue and 4 white, and I am here at the end of the pattern. I have already changed the color to the blue one, and now the pattern calls for always the yarns in the front because we are working the back part. So now the pattern calls for 3 closed half double crochet, 1, 2 and 3, and then I have 7 slip stitches. So I will just find the back loop, always working in the back loop with the sweater, okay? So find the back loop, insert the hook, pull through and slip stitch. So 1, 2, and so until you have 7 slip stitches. 3, and 7. So I am at the end of the pattern of the second row. The second row is a back side row. So now it's the same. We are going to continue doing this pattern front and back until I have in total 9 ribbings. So let me just do one more with you. The third row, which is 1 chain, turn your work now. And now I will work in the front. So all my yarns will stay in the back. So I will skip the chain that I did. I will insert the hook at the second stitch, at the back loop of the second stitch from the chain, and I will just slip stitch. So I will crochet 7 slip stitches. 1 already did, 2, 3, 7. Okay, so now I will crochet 3 closed half double crochet, and of course I'm going to change the color at the last stitch. So it's always at the back loop. 1, 2, 3. At the last one I will leave the yarn in the back, and I will pick the white yarn from the back, yarn over, pull through and pull through. The blue yarn stays in the back, and now I will crochet the 4 white stitches. 1, 2. So this is what I'm going to do now for the third row. Where I have the blue, I will do the blue. Where I have the white, I will do the white. And of course, until the end of the row here, I will just follow the same pattern. And of course, I will change colors always at the last stitch. I have finished the third row, and this is how your work it is going to look like. This is the tail. Once you finish 3 rows, and the third row is a front side row. So once you finish the third row, you can actually see a proper ribbing over here. Then you're going to continue 4th, 5th and so on row. You are going to continue crocheting, I think 18 rows, and the 18th row, once you finish the 18th row, you are going to end up on this side, on the slip stitch side. Okay, so I'm going to continue 4th and back until I have 18 row in total, which means that I have 9 ribbons like this, and I will end up at the end of the 18th row. I will end up on the slip stitch side. Okay, you guys, here we are. I did in the front panel already 9 ribbons. If you count over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 ribbons, 18 rows in total, and I ended up on the cuff side. Here is going to be the part of the ribbing over here. This is the slip stitch side. So here is the end. Now I am going to start to do the decreases here for the shaping of the neck. So for the 19th row, I am going to start to shape the neck. For that, I am going to follow this pattern. I am going to start working on the front side. So the pattern that is required, it is 7 slip stitches and 3 closed half double crochet with the blue color. And 7 slip stitches And now I'm going to crochet 3 closed half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and at the third I'm going to change to the white color. And now the pattern requires 4 white closed half double crochet. And then the fourth one, of course, I'm going to leave the white, pick the blue and change. I'm going to continue with the blue one, and I will just change the color wherever is required. So I will continue 13 blue, 4 white and so on. Now we are going to continue this pattern following the previous row pattern until this row over here, until this part over here. At this part over here, I am going to decrease with 1 stitch on the end over here. So I'm going to crochet instead of 16 closed half double crochet, I am going to crochet 15 closed half double crochet, and I will turn to do the work on the back side. So I will continue crocheting the same pattern until here, where I'm going to decrease from 16 to 15. Here we are. I did arrive at the end and I did not finish until the last stitch. If you see here, I left the last stitch without working. Now I'm going to start the pattern for the 20th row, which is in the back side. So I will do 1 chain. Now I will turn my work. Of course, I will keep my yarns in the front. And now I'm going to start the 20th row, which is just going to be the same pattern on the way back to the slip stitch pattern. So I'm not going to do any decreases or anything like that. I'm just going to follow the same pattern of the 19th row. So here 15 closed half double crochet with blue, and then 4, and then 13, and then 4, and so on until I arrive at the end. Also the 7 slip stitches here. So let's crochet on the back side the 20th row. Okay, here we are. I did finish the 20th row and I ended up on the slip stitch side. So now I'm going to start the 21st row, which is in the front side. For the 21st row, I will continue to decrease 1 stitch on the next side. Always I decrease 1 stitch for 2 rows, because I decrease on the front side and I don't decrease on the way back on the back side. So every 2 rows I will decrease. So I will continue the pattern for the 21st row. So I will turn my work. Now we work on the front side. Yarns will stay on the, we will keep the yarns on the back side. And the pattern for the 21st row, it is the same as the 20th row. The only difference is that when we arrive at the neck side, we will just leave 1 stitch without crocheting. So here we will crochet not 15, which was the pattern for the 20th row, but we will crochet 14 stitches. So I will start with 7 slip stitches and 3 closed half double crochet with a blue color. Here we are. I did finish the 21st row. As you can see, I came at the end over here and I did leave one stitch without crocheting over here. So I did decrease one more stitch. So I crocheted only 14 stitches over here. This depends because I'm crocheting the S size, but you have to follow your own size. So now I am going to work on the back side, which is the 22nd row. For the 22nd row, I am just going to follow the same pattern of the 21st row. I'm not going to do any increases or decreases. So I am just going to turn my work now, keep all the yarns in the front, and I'm going to crochet where I have the blue closed half double crochet, I will crochet with blue, and where I have the white, I will crochet with white, and just the same pattern. And I am working this time on the direction towards the slip stitch side. I am just going to follow the same pattern. Okay, finished the 22nd row. I just finished and went on the slip stitch side, the same pattern as the 21st row. Now I'm going to start the 23rd row, which is in the front side. Then I will turn my work and I will keep the yarns always in the back. Now for the 23rd row, I am again going to do one decrease. We will do 4 decreases for the neck. And these decreases we do always in the front side, and the back side we will just crochet with the same pattern of the front side of the previous decrease. Okay, so I am going to crochet the 23rd row, which is the same pattern, same as the 22nd. The only change that we do is that when we come here we will do 1 stitch less, and this is the 3rd decrease that we will do. So now we are working on the slip stitch side towards the neck side. So I will work my 7 slip stitches and then 3 closed half double crochet and continue the rest of the pattern as the previous one. Here we are, I finished the 23rd row. So here, when I arrived at the neck shaping, I did leave 1 stitch without crocheting. As you can see, the neck is starting to take shape over here, and I don't want a very deep neck, so I am going only with 1 stitch for every 2 rows. Okay, so I finished the pattern for the 23rd row. I am going to start the pattern for the 24th row, which is in the back side. So 1 chain and I will turn my work. Now for the 24th row, I am just going to follow the same pattern of the 24th row, but this time we are working on the back side and we are working towards the slip stitch side. So let's follow the same pattern and I will see you at the end over here. No decreases or increases again on this row. I finished the 24th row, which is the exact pattern of the 23rd row, just in the back side. So now I'm going to start the 25th row, which starts on the front side, is crocheted in the front side, and it starts from the slip stitch side towards the neck side. Again, on the 25th row, we are going to do 1 more decrease. So I am going to start crocheting 7 slip stitches and 3 closed half double crochet stitches, and I will continue the pattern same as the 24th row. The only change is that when I arrived at the neck side, I am going to crochet not 13 stitches but 12. Okay, you guys, here we are. I did finish the 25th row, and in the 25th row, of course, I did 1 decrease on the neck side, so I crocheted 12 closed half double crochet stitches instead of 13 blue ones over here. So now I'm going to crochet the 26th row, which is in the back side, and in the back side I am just going to, for the 26th row, I'm just going to follow the same pattern of the 25th row, no decreases or increases. One chain, turn your work. So on the 26th row I am going to start crocheting from the neck side towards the slip stitch side. So I'm going to follow the same pattern of the 25th row. Okay, you guys, I finished the 26th row where I followed the same pattern as the 25th one, just on the way towards the slip stitch pattern side. So now I'm going to start the 27th row. The 27th row marks the other half of the pattern. Let me explain. Until here we finished half of the pattern. Now we are going to do the other half, which means that in the other half we are going to start increasing. All the stitches that we decreased over here, we will increase on this other side. So until now we have finished just half of the pattern of the front side. Now I am going to start the 27th row, which is going to be on the front side. The 27th row and the 28th row are just going to have the same pattern as the 26th and the 25th row. So 25 and 26 that we already did, they had the same pattern, the same amount of stitches, and the 27th and the 28th is going to have the same amount of stitches. We are going to start increasing on the 29th row. So I'm going to start now the 27th row with the same pattern, it's just in the front side. Okay, you guys, I finished the 27th row where I did the same amount of stitches as that on the 26th one, and I continued until the end over here. I crocheted all the stitches all the way, which are 12 stitches with the blue one. So I will continue the 28th row, which is in the back side. The 28th row has again the same amount of stitches as the 27th one, no decreases or increases. The only thing is that I will crochet on the back side and I will crochet from the neck towards the slip stitch side. Here it is, I did finish the 28th row. So as I told you, the 27th and the 28th row are the same pattern, the same amount of stitches as 25 and 26. Okay, so from now on we are going to start to increase for every 2 rows 1 stitch. So let's start on the 29th row. And the 29th row is from the front side, so we are going to start crocheting from the slip stitch side. So the pattern for the 29th row is going to be like this. We are going to follow the same pattern of the 28th row, which means that I'm going to do 7 slip stitches, 3 close half double crochet, 4 white, 13 and so on. I will just follow the same pattern of the 28th row until here. Also I will continue to crochet 12 close half double crochet until the end, and here once I crochet the full pattern of the same as the 28th row, I will show you how to add those two that 1 stitch. So let's first start crocheting the same pattern, 7 slip stitches, 3 closed half double crochet and change to the white and follow the same pattern. So this is how your work it is going to look like once you do the 29th row, once you arrive here. Now here at the 29th row, as I told you, I am going to start increasing 1 stitch. To increase that 1 stitch, I am going to do the following. So take your hook and just add 2 chain stitches, 1 and 2. 1 chain stitch is going to be the place where we are going to add the next closed half double crochet, and that will happen when we go on the 30th row, and one we are going to use for the turning chain. So we are going to add 2 chain stitches, and with this we are done for the 29th row. Now I'm going to show you how to do the increase, and that will happen on the 30th row. So I will turn my work now. So to add that 1 closed half double crochet, I will skip the first chain from the stitch, from the hook, and I will yarn over, and I will insert the hook in the second chain from the hook. So I will skip the first one and I will insert in the second one. And I will just crochet 1 closed half double crochet. Then for the rest, I'm just going to continue crocheting closed half double crochet with the blue color until the last stitch, where I'm going to change to white. So like this, I added 1 stitch. From now on, I'm going to work on the back loop, of course. And here it is. I did finish the 30th row, which includes an increase over here. So I am finished with this row, and now I will start the 31st row, which is in the front side. Again, we are going to follow the same pattern. We are going to come until the end of the stitches here, and then we are going to add 2 chain stitches, because we are going to add 1 closed half double crochet. We are going to continue doing that for another 3 times, which means that for in total with the one that we did, there are going to be 4 increases. And of course, 1 increase is every 2 rows, because we don't increase every row, right? 1 row we add the chains, the 2 chains, and then the second row we actually crochet the stitch. I hope you understand the logic behind it. So anyway, I am going to continue now the 31st row. I am going to start crocheting from the slip stitch side towards the neck increase. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the same pattern of the 30th row, where I have the blue, I will crochet with blue, where I have the slip stitch, I will crochet slip stitch stitches, and where I have the closed half double crochet stitches, I will crochet that stitch. Here we are. I did finish all the 31st row, so I just came and I finished all the stitches to the last one. And now for the increase that we need to do, for the 1 stitch that we need to increase, I will do 2 chains, and that's it for the pattern of the 31st row. Now I'm going to start the 32nd row, which is in the back. I will turn my work, and I am going to keep the yarns in the front, and as the previous increase that we did, I will yarn over. So I will skip the first chain from the hook, and I will insert in the second chain, and I will crochet 1 closed half double crochet. Skip the first, insert in the second one, and closed half double crochet. Like this, I increased 1 more stitch over here, and for the rest I'm just going to continue working with the same color closed half double crochet in the back loop. Now I will continue crocheting from the neck towards the slip stitch side, the 32nd row, and the pattern is just the same stitch. Where you have the blue, you have to continue crocheting with blue, and where you have the white, crochet with white and change the color at the last stitch. Okay, so I finished the 32nd row. Here I ended up on the slip stitch side, and this is the second increase that I'm doing over here. So I will start the 33rd row on the front side, and of course I am going to add 2 chains. Continue crocheting 7 slip stitches and 3 closed half double crochet, and change the colors until the same pattern, until you arrive at the last stitch over here, and then we will do 2 chains. So I ended up here at the end of the 33rd row, which is towards the neck side. So I am going to, once I finished all the patterns, same as the 32nd row, once I finish the last stitch over here, I am going to add 2 chain stitches for the stitch that we need to add on the other side. So now I'm going to start the 34th row. Again, as previously, we will yarn over, we will skip the first chain and from the hook, and we will insert the hook in the second chain from the hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through last 2 loops. So here I did the 3rd increase for the neck over here, and now for the rest of the pattern I will just crochet all the stitches one by one in their color, and I will work towards the slip stitch side. I finished the 34th row here at the side of the slip stitch. So this is my 3rd increase. So this is the first one, second one, third one. So I did 4 decreases here. If you see, I did 1, 2, 3, 4 decreases. So now I am going to do the same amount of increases, which are going to be 1, 2, 3, and the last one, which is going to be the 4th one. And of course, when you finish the 4th one, you are supposed to have 16 stitches over here. So you are going to end up with the same amount of stitches that you started to decrease over here, right? I hope you understand the logic behind that. So you're going to increase as many stitches as you decreased on this other side. So I'm going to start the 35th row, and the pattern is the same as the 34th. It's just that we are going to add 2 chain stitches here at the end, and this is all in the front side. So turn your work. And here we are at the end of the 35th row, and of course at the end here I crocheted all the stitches until the end, and now my last increase, so 2 chains, and I am done. For the 35th row I am going to turn my work, and I'm going to start crocheting the 36th row, and the 36th row is the last row where we do the increase. This is the 4th increase, so I will skip yarn over, skip the first stitch from the first chain from the hook, and insert the hook in the second chain and crochet a close half double crochet. I will continue at the back loop of all the stitches now until the end and follow the same pattern. So in total, when I finish here, this part over here, I'm going to have 16 stitches, which is the same amount of stitches that we started here decreasing. And here it is, I finished the 36th row, which was on the back side, and ended up here on the slip stitch side. So you can see now that the color is symmetric over here. So this was my last increase that I did, and for the rest I am just going to go forth and back using the same pattern for the front and for the back. I'm not going to increase or decrease anymore. So from the 37th row I am going to start working for front and back with the same amount of stitches for each color until I have in total 9 ribbings, or 1 ribbing I have already crocheted over here. So now I will crochet another 8 ribbings, because this, with the increase, this is the first ribbing of the 9 stitches of the 9 ribbings of the shoulder over here. So if you see this point over here, this actually is this one, this ribbing over here. So I have 9 ribbing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, and then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I have already did 1, so I'm going to crochet another 8 of these ribbings, which means I'm going to crochet now from row 37 to the row 53 with the same pattern. Once I finish the 53rd row, I am going to, the 53rd row actually it is going to be on the front side, and I am going to end up here. So just crochet, continue crocheting forth and back for another 8 ribbings plus 1 row on the front side, and then you will end up over here. Anyway, you can also check the pictures or the written pattern on the website so you can have a clearer idea, or you can just wait until I finish all the crochet part here, and then you can see where the work it is actually finished. So I will continue from row 37 to row 53. Here is the finished panel. I finished 26 ribbings, that means 52 rows, but also I did one more row, the 53rd, on this way, so I ended up with the yarn on the top here at the shoulder. So I hope your work matches mine as well. So now I'm just going to leave some yarn here for the sewing of the shoulder, and I will cut the rest of the yarn. Okay, so now I'm going to start and crochet the back panel.